Good afternoon, everybody. Meteorologist Matthew Hidalgo here with a quick little weather update for you. So there's a current look at your Viper radar. We do have some scattered showers and storms in portions of our eastern counties in the Texas Panhandle, but we're really keeping our eye to the northwest. That's where we could see our strongest storms as we head throughout the evening hours. Excuse me. I do have the hiccups. Let's try and get through this together, though. But let's zoom down to the one severe warning storm in the area. We do have a severe thunderstorm warning for portions of Roberts, Hutchinson, and Ochiltree County until 4:30 p.m. Central Daylight Time. If you can see my cursor on the screen, that's the cell we're talking about. It has a pretty good core on it, about ping pong ball size hail, 70-mile-per-hour winds, folks. So it does look like the storm right now is making a little bit of a northeasterly track. We'll have to kind of keep an eye to see if it shifts a bit further east or even southeast. Might then head towards the Canadian area just a bit, but we'll keep an eye on that as we go over the course of the next 30 minutes. We do have other alerts on the board. It looks like we just got some new alerts that we'll take a look at in just a second. But an aerial flood advisory is in effect for portions of Carson and Potter County, as well as portions of Gray County. That's until 7 p.m. and then portions of Hemphill until 6:30 p.m. So if you are in those areas, just be a bit cautious. These storms are producing a lot of rainfall as we head throughout the evening hours, but I do want to take a look at some other alerts that we do have on the board. So give me 1 second here, folks, while I take a look at. There we go. And that is until 11 p.m. So let me just change this graphic real quick for you. Okay, so severe thunderstorm watch for these counties here shaded in this yellow until 11 p.m. Central Daylight Time, 10 p.m. Mountain Daylight Time for Union and Quake County over there in eastern New Mexico, folks. So again, we are likely going to be keeping our eyes to the northwest for any of those strong supercell storms to try to develop, but just make sure you have a way to receive any of the severe weather alerts. Let's go back and take a look at some temperatures. Kind of hanging out in those 70s and 80s. It does look like Amarillo with that storm that moved close to the airport, cooled down a little bit. 68 degrees at the airport. Hereford, almost a 20-degree difference at 88 degrees, and Clovising at 85 degrees. Our temperatures up in the northern counties a bit cooler, hanging out in those 70s right now. But overall, we should see temperatures start to fall, especially once the sun goes down, or if we do see any of these storms move through specific areas. But here's a look at your computer model. We're keeping our eye on a cold front. Now, these storms that are developing in the Texas Panhandle right now, it does look like they're along a different form of boundary that's in the area, but we're keeping our eye on a front that'll be making its way across the region as we go throughout this evening and into the overnight hours. That's where we could see some more of those storms develop. And if storms do catch on the cold front or any sort of boundary out there, we can't completely rule out a few land spouts or even a tornado or two, folks. But we're likely going to hold on to these showers and storm chances as we head throughout the evening into the overnight hours. Things should start to quiet down, especially as we get into early Thursday morning. Temperatures falling back down mainly into the 50s, got a few 60s out there, but we'll see temperatures a bit cooler for Thursday behind that front, hanging out mainly in the 70s. Some models have that front kind of stalling out across portions of our region, anywhere ahead of that front, so maybe down to our southeast near Childress and Paducah, could still be on the warmer side, getting into the 80s for those daytime highs. We'll still hold on to some slight chance of a few isolated storms as we go throughout Thursday, but things should start to quiet down, especially as we head into Thursday evening. Back into those 50s and 60s by early Friday. Back into the 80s by Friday afternoon. Might see a shower or storm try to develop during the afternoon and evening hours. But let's talk a little bit more about storm chances as we head throughout this evening here, folks. And here's your severe outlook. We do have that slight risk to our northwestern counties in the region, marginal risk for a good portion of the region. Again, could see up to ping pong ball size hail, 70-mile-per-hour winds. Those will likely be the major threats. Again, can't completely rule out a tornado or two across portions of the region. Again, that will really be favoring our northwestern counties if it could develop. But definitely, again, could see some localized flooding, especially as these storms get going, dumping a lot of rainfall across portions of the region. But as far as your severe outlook goes for tomorrow, a general thunderstorm chance for the majority of us, marginal risk to some of our southeastern counties in the region. Again, hail and wind, the major threats there. But let's talk a little bit more about precipitation, because it does look like over the course of the next couple of days here, the rain's going to be really favoring our northern counties in the region. Majority of us, a tenth to maybe a quarter of an inch, could see some slightly greater amounts, especially as you get into our northern counties, a half inch to maybe even some pockets of an inch and a half, folks. But let's take a look at some daytime highs for tomorrow. Again, it should be cooler for the most part, mainly hanging out in the 70s. Further south, southeast you are, could see temperatures a bit warmer, especially again down near Childress and Paducah. But Amarillo, we're going to go a high around 78 degrees, which is a bit below normal with our magic number sitting at 84. And summing this all up here with your 7-day tracker, best chances of rain are tonight and even Thursday. Then rain chances become a bit more isolated throughout the remainder of the week. Does look like we're going to see a high pressure ridge build in next week with temperatures getting back into those 80s. Few of us may push the low 90s to start off next week, especially for the first day of fall on Monday. But we got you covered, folks. Just make sure you are staying weather ready out there. Let's take one quick look. Let me go back to the National Weather Service to see if they are. So they canceled the severe thunderstorm warning for the little portion of Hutchinson County, but kept it going for Roberts and Ochiltree. Does look like they lowered the hail size just a little bit. Let's take a look at that. The hail size is now up to half-dollar size hail and still 70-mile-per-hour winds. So that's the major threats. We'll take one more quick look at the radar for you guys here, just so you can see what we're talking about. And let me put this through time. And there you go. They did cancel it for Hutchinson County, kept it for Roberts and Ochiltree County, but there's that storm that we're keeping our eye on. It does look like it's weakening just a little bit, or at least that core has shrinked a little bit, but still producing some hail. Again, it looks like half-dollar size hail and 70-mile-per-hour winds. But we'll hop back on here with any more updates if things start to get a little